What's up, everybody? Welcome back to your favorite wrestling podcast, the Monday Night Wave. I go by your host, Jay. We're going to pass it off to my co-host, the one, the only, take away from here,
Mr. Sexy Ass Lottery, the King of Gorgeous, the wild card, did it out of order, but is there really order? No, there's only chaos, baby. It's Hero, and welcome back to the Monday Night Wave. Now,
this is the special edition. This is the Double or Nothing. The stakes are high, baby. We're doing all predictions this episode.
Stakes are high. I got the dice in my hand, and I just wish Lady Luck would blow in it, which is kind of weird to say, I guess. But it's not a phrase that I made up.
It's true. Oh, man. Yeah.
Loner Khan. Well, you already told him what we're going to pile, but I got to ask the question anyway. It's part of the bit. So, Loner Khan, hopefully you don't be afraid for your life at this moment while I ask you this question.
Where's my neck brace?
What do you want to pot about?
It's a great day to pod about wrestling, people. Big weekend for wrestling right now. Two major pay-per-views. If you listen to this, it's actually Sunday. So one already happened yesterday, and now today we have Double or Nothing. And it's a lot of wrestling, a lot of graps, a lot of meats being slapped.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I can say that or not, but fuck it.
It's fine.
Yeah, so today we're going to get into like the match card of Double or Nothing, who we think we're going to win, how we think things are going to play out. Double or Nothing has, I believe, 12 matches, so there's a lot of talent on the show. A lot of matches going to be here, and let's get into it. Let's what we got at the top of the list. What we rocking with?
So we have a pre-show match, and it will be Thunder Rosa versus Deonna Purrazzo.
Man, this is gonna be a good match. Based off like the last Thunder match I've seen, she went crazy, and Deonna's also really nice. This is tough. I'm going to go Deonna. I'm gonna go Deonna Purrazzo this match.
Word.
Yeah.
I think Thunder still needs some more momentum since coming back. So I'm gonna choose Thunder. Honestly, this is a match where I feel like you could flip a coin and it could be either. It could go either way. But I think Thunder could use a win, maybe more. I don't know. I'm gonna go Thunder though. I'm choosing Thunder.
This is also one of the matches that I feel like they could have cooked a little bit longer. We could have pushed this one to the next pay-per-view, just to give these women more time. I think rushing it on the Double or Nothing show feels a little like come on, hold on, let us cook now. But yeah, you're right. You can flip a coin. Either one of these, like, it could be a toss-up. So it's still gonna be a great match. Hopefully, it's a great match. Hopefully, I think this, since it's on pre-show, it's gonna be on YouTube before the show actually starts. So they definitely will get time for sure.
And to be fair, I mean, they've been beefing since Thunder came back while Deonna was beefing with Toni.
This is true.
I don't watch Rampage and I barely watch Collision, so maybe there was storyline stuff that we missed, or that I for sure missed. So I don't know if this is quote unquote rushed, but since it hasn't really been on Dynamite that much, it definitely feels random, or I don't know.
I was listening to something early in the week where they're talking about that too, to where like the continuation of stories being placed on multiple shows can get a little like confusing for the watcher. Because I watched Dynamite this week for Thunder and Deonna, and then I got to watch Collision next week to see the continuation of the story. It's a lot. Hopefully we'll figure that out, or they can figure that out. Next match, we have the International Championship. We have Roderick Strong versus Will Ospreay.
I'll go first. This match shouldn't be happening. It's just, and it should be happening in the sense where it's like I feel like it's too soon to beat Will. At least it's too soon to beat him clean. And then if he wins it, which he more than likely will, no pun intended, because I'm definitely picking Ospreay to win this. Then it's like, I mean, then he has to build until either he loses it or because I feel like the end of the road is him going for this AEW World Title, and
Right.
everyone assumed it would be in August in Wembley. So does he go in as a double champion or does he lose right before it? To me, I just feel like they shouldn't even done this match just to avoid those kind of questions, or just to avoid that kind of booking strategy that Khan is going to have to figure out. But we're here anyway. And they did have a good back and forth promo the other week.
They did.
It seemed a little spicy. I am a huge fan of the Messiah of the Backbreaker, but I believe this is Will Ospreay's title to take, unless maybe the only other way I would book it is him lose by Don Callis finally betraying him. But I don't know if that's going to happen. So I'm gonna choose Will Ospreay.
I'm with you. I'm gonna go Will Ospreay as well. But my thought process is that right now, I think he'll win by DQ. I think you're gonna get some action from Wardlow. I saw like I can't remember who. I think it was Roderick was going against Kyle O'Reilly, and Wardlow was like late to kind of like interfere. And I think that was like a story bit of like, oh, he almost fucked up and by letting Roderick lose. So I think that we're gonna get win by Ospreay by DQ. Roderick retains, but then you have this whole Will beef with Wardlow because they still got to figure out what the hell they're doing with Wardlow. Or Will wins clean and he still beefs with Wardlow, but then you have Cole coming back pretty soon. You have Roderick already back, and you still have Kyle O'Reilly. So like potentially some something there. I don't know what they would have called themselves in AEW, but I could see like them linking up as the trios. All three of them would be fucking great to have on TV.
It's still Undisputed Era type. It's something. It's similar. I don't remember what the
similar
name was.
Yeah. I think you can do that. Yeah.
As far as I know, there's no timetable on Cole. We've heard more. We've heard recent news about MJF more than we've heard about Cole. Although we have seen him walk. We have seen him walk. So yeah, I know. Yeah, time will tell.
It's all a toss up, but I think Will win either by DQ or clean. I'm probably leaning more so DQ, just because Undisputed Kingdom plays dirty. We have the World's Trios Championship, Bang Bang Gang instead of Bullet Club Gold. Even on like the website, they don't go by Bullet Club Gold no more. It's just Bang Bang Gang. Yeah. Versus Death Triangle for the Trios Championships. Yeah, I'm going Death Triangle. I don't root against Lucha Bros ever.
It would be cool to have Death Triangle win. I'm going to go Bang Bang Gang though, because they need to. Even though Jay White is atrocious on the mic, he is still one of the recent hottest free agents that they signed. So I feel like you want to keep him looking strong at least, and also just the inconsistency with Death Triangle. I love Death Triangle. I love Pac.
It's just the injury.
Like either as far as Lucha Bros go, either one of them is injured, and then with Pac, he shows up every 3 months and then he disappears because of visa stuff or passport or whatever. So I just feel like it's not impossible for them to win it. They've won it before, but
right.
The real question is the consistency. Like, is Pac just going to leave again for another 5 months? Is one of these luchas going to get injured? I don't know. We'll see. But having them finally join up again is lit. They could win it, but I'm going to choose Bang Bang Gang for those reasons.
Okay. Yeah, they're gonna throw on a fucking phenomenal match. The match is gonna be fucking insane. I would think that, like, hypothetically, if Death Triangle does win, and I'm not saying you break up Bang Bang Gang anytime soon, but you would kind of want to have Jay White available for like a singles match for Forbidden Door. I think like that's kind of where you would want to go. I just me personally, I don't know anything about fucking booking, but I know that Jay White at Forbidden Door going to get somebody from New Japan or any promotion at that matter would probably be a big singles match to have.
I mean, I would say it'd be an okay singles match. The nigga just left there not that long ago, so anyone he would fight, he already fought before for sure. And then you could also still have the singles match without breaking them up. I mean, look at Moxley and look at Danielson.
Right. You can still have the trios match. You can find me, 3 New Japan like talent over there, or a group from New Japan. That's the trios. I think that's possible too.
Yeah. Do they still have a Bullet Club? I want to get another Bullet Club versus.
They do.
Bullet Club.
They definitely do. Yeah. Next up, Orange Cassidy versus Trent Beretta. This one can go either way.
It could. I don't like betting against Orange, but I think the smart decision, and I hate to say it, but the smart decision would be to have Trent win. And so it solidifies his heel turn. It solidifies him as, I guess, a single star. Orange Cassidy rarely loses, so this loss I don't think would hurt him. Like, yeah, he's kind of like a Bianca. He's kind of like a Cena. Like, he doesn't lose that much. And so Trent, in this new character, he could use a big win, especially against, a former best friend, no pun intended. So I'm going to go with Trent.
Yeah. I'm going to go Trent as well. And I think the play is like, the whole I was your best friend. I can't beat you this bad. I don't want to see you bleed like this. And that's probably what's gonna like end up setting him up for the loss. I am interested in seeing like what is Don Callis' interest in Orange Cassidy. Like what part of this match is he gonna like play? Because they've been hinting at the Don Callis like connection for a couple weeks now.
He costed Cassidy the match this last Wednesday.
Yeah.
By mistake.
But I do. It's true. It wasn't by mistake. It wasn't intentional. I do agree that like Trent winning pushes him in the right lane to where like, oh, it's a solidified heel. I just don't think AEW needs more heels. I think we have a lot of them here.
They love them.
It's true. They do. Yeah, so go with Trent. Let's see. We'll see how that goes, but yeah.
Do we see? Does Chuck show up?
Ooh, that is a good question. It depends on where this match goes, because right now it's just a regular singles match, and I don't think that this will just be a regular singles match. You can't get in the ring together and like with all this tension, and it's just a regular singles 1, 2, 3. I think they probably take this shit outside.
Yeah,
it's in Vegas. Somebody's going outside.
Which to me is kind of weird in the sense of booking wise, because the last match that they had a couple weeks ago when we had the power driver on the stairs and stuff that was that was technically a regular match, and they mostly fought outside. So then, so for this match, for it to be just another regular ass match is kind of weird. I'm surprised they didn't just do a street fight or another parking lot brawl or something. I think that was a missed opportunity, but also at the same time, they probably don't want to go too crazy because there's an Anarchy in Arena and there's a triple threat. So I guess you could see, I don't know. Yeah, but it should be crazy. It should be a crazy ass blood feud. It should be worse than what Trent and Chuck went through, I feel like, almost. So, at least as far as intensity.
I'm thinking, like, what could you have... You could have done, like a strap match or some shit like that. Just something, like, just brutal.
Yeah, so you can't escape. Because there's already a cage match, too. Huh?
Right.
Is it... I don't know. Yeah, there was probably just too many stipulations.
Yeah, we do got, one... There's 2 stipulation matches already on the card.
And then rules are already lenient, so it's like, whatever. All right, next. Next, we have the triple threat for the FTW title, which means FTW rules, therefore more weapons. Probably another reason why, again, they didn't put a stipulation on the match prior. But yeah, True. So we have Chris Jericho versus Hook versus Shibata.
Going with the learning tree. I'm going with Jericho. I feel like the learning tree story is not done yet. There's also been like Joe hanging around Hook and Shibata, like more so in the sense of like, man, like let me mentor y'all. I think that's where they're going, which I think that would be a fucking fire like stable between Joe, Hook, Shibata. Um, that way Hook doesn't have to talk as much. Shibata doesn't really talk. I
No,
don't think he talks at all.
no,
He just talks
Siri
to the
talks for him.
phone. And then Joe could be the mouthpiece of that. Um, yeah, definitely going Jericho. Story's not done yet. He has some more shit he has to get off his chest. More people to bring into like the fold of the learning tree. So yeah, that's where I'm headed with.
Oh man. Okay. Well, before I give you my answer, real quick, I just want to say this is another match that kind of probably shouldn't be happening. Mostly
I will agree.
because this title doesn't mean anything, and that's me being as respectful as possible. This title is it's essentially like a 24/7. It doesn't mean anything. It's not technically a part of the show. Like it's not in the it's not part of the show. It's a prop. So in saying that, like in theory or in realness, in reality, why does anyone want it? Why did Shibata put himself in there? He was just tagging with Hook. Like, why do you want this shit? You just want to carry some shit around? It just doesn't make any sense. But in saying all that, as much as I hate to fucking it's bad radio, but I have to agree with you. I think Jericho is gonna win. Yeah, for pretty much all the exact reasons you said. The learning tree shit is kind of just starting. He only has one branch of this tree, if that's even what they're going for. Oh God, I hope they don't go that route. But he only has one branch on this tree, which is Big Bill. Maybe Sammy Guevara shows up, or maybe Joe does show up. I don't know, but I now that you brought it up, a Joe Shibata Hook trio would be cool. I can see them going after the trios. Honestly, I prefer Hook and Joe just as a tag, but if they were a trio, I could see that them versus like Bang Bang Gang, or them versus whoever the hell else they were fighting. What is it, Death Triangle? That'd be cool.
That's tough. That'd be tough.
Yeah, I think Jericho's gonna win, and he's gonna get booed out the arena, and it's gonna be well deserved.
1000%. I will say, like, they're trying to bring some kind of prestige to that title. Everything that you're saying is absolutely correct. It was like, why do you want this? What's the reasoning for it? It doesn't exist. I think they're trying to build a legacy for it by getting people interested in it. And I think having Jericho at the helm of that does get people asking questions, because like you don't want to see Jericho, but you know what championship he has. It's kind of like a double-edged sword here. It's like, fuck, go home. But he keeps talking about this for the world championship. So now we know what the championship is, but at the same time, we're going to see Jericho go home. But yeah, I do agree with a good majority of what you were saying. Next up, we got the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship Eliminator match. Jon Moxley versus Konosuke Takeshita.
Another match that should not be happening.
Here's the thing. I didn't know that New Japan controls the booking of this, of the title, of who goes against it, who gets it, because it's their belt, which makes sense. But I didn't know like they control everything about this belt.
Now, is that super confirmed? Because I didn't see any like official confirmation that was. I mean, it does make sense, but I just didn't see any like official like.
I was listening to, I think it was SRS, I think it was Ross Sapp that I was checking out, and he was talking about like how like they control everything about the New Japan title, which, like I said, it makes sense. Like people were asking, why is it an eliminator match? Why isn't it just not a championship match? And it's because like they already have Mox like booked out for like future events, and they're already promoting like these future events with Mox on the card, which kind of takes away or takes you out of it, but it doesn't if it's an eliminator match. Like Konosuke could, defeat Mox, which, by the way, is where I'm going for this prediction. Mox is my guy. We all know this, but I'm going Konosuke. I think Konosuke beats Mox in this. I think they have a fucking banger match. I just think Konosuke comes out on top.
I love Konosuke, but Mox is one of those people that is rarely beat, especially clean. I think he's 11-0 in all of 2024 right now. So I'm gonna go with Moxley. But the reason why I say this shouldn't really exist is because it is because it's an eliminator, but not because not because of the booking and who controls the booking, but because this is a pay-per-view and you're having a number one contenders match on a pay-per-view. It just doesn't make that much sense to me.
Okay, I can.
If that makes yeah, it's a pay-per-view and you're having a number one contenders match against the champion.
I never thought about it like that. Eliminator just makes it seem like it's a different kind of match, but you are right. It's a number one contenders match against the champion, especially without like any kind of like stipulation. This wasn't like a special guest referee. This wasn't a quit match. There wasn't nothing like that to incentivize it to, lead into like a championship match. But yeah, you're right.
But I'm gonna go Moxley. That nigga don't lose. At least not a lot.
Does not.
He does not lose a lot.
And which would make it even more like surprising if he did, because like when he loses to people that he respects, and it does put them over when he does lose. And Konosuke could use the push.
I mean, when you say it that way, yeah, he could. Konosuke could win, and then they have the rematch, and then he just loses it. But if the whole idea of New Japan controlling the booking, then who's to say? I mean, if they've already have all these bookings planned and shit, who's to say that they want to have a legitimate IWGP match with those two? So that's another reason why I think Moxley's going to win. If they really do control the booking, like, then they either would have just gave the go ahead, or then it's a convoluted way to just have them lose like a week or a month later. I don't know.
It's true.
It depends on how they book it,
And also storytelling wise too, just long-term storytelling, like having the IWGP on this pay-per-view when your next pay-per-view is Forbidden Door. I think you kind of like want to have that on the match card. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody from New Japan does pop up in this as like interference, or maybe at the end of the match to kind of set up that storytelling for Forbidden Door. At least I think that's where I would go with it. Yeah.
I can see that happening, which is again why I'm going to choose Mox. Mox wins. Another Japanese man comes out and says, "I'll see you next month."
Yeah, most likely.
Something like that. I don't know. We'll see.
AEW's Women World Championship. We have Toni Storm versus Serena Deeb. I'm going Toni. I think the story continues with Toni. She's doing great. She's having great matches, doing great promos. Just overall, still a very high draw for AEW. I think we'll get Toni to win this one, but I do think that we'll start seeing we'll know who's going to be her next challenger in this match too. I think they appear as well. Whether that's Mariah May or that's somebody else. I think we have a surprise return from somebody.
Okay. I would like Serena to win, but I don't think she will. So I've kind of got to go Toni, but I would like to get off my chest. I don't understand the booking of this feud. Like in the last 3 weeks, they both switched between heel and babyface. Like both of them multiple times. It's confusing to me, and I feel like since Toni is so loved, since she is so cheered, she should just be a babyface because people don't want to boo her. So just make her a full-fledged babyface. And it seems like they kind of put on ice the protege portraying the teacher type of thing. So more reason to just kind of make them babyface. If you're not like if we're not going to get the portrayal anytime soon, because it seems like they put it on ice for a little bit. There's no more seeds being planted at this moment, so just make them both face. Like they just beat Saraya and Cameron, and their heels for sure. So yeah, just make them face. And then Serena
you're not wrong there.
Yeah, I mean like she was talking about seizures and they were booing her. Like
that's crazy. That's so wild.
They tried to make her a babyface. They booed her. And then you get a next week like Toni comes off as the baby face because she gets knocked out. But then the following week she like steals the flag and strips behind it, and then you're taunting the person. It's like, who the fuck is the good guy here? But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, I guess. you know. But so just let Toni win and just make them good guys. Shit.
Yeah, the story has been very confusing. It's been not the most engaging or interesting, to say the least, just because, like, once again, it's told on 3 different shows. But also just, like, who's the bad guy, who's the hero here, I have no idea. Ooh, which is even more reason why I believe, like, Toni's going to win, because, like, there's no story here. You could have went without this one respectfully. Because there's no story, like, connection. There's no weight to this. I don't feel like there's any weight to this.
Yeah. One last thing, because I did watch Dynamite this week, or I watched the last hour of it, and Serena Deeb, her fit, she had a fit on. She had that shit
fire
on. She had that shit
fire
on. That shit was fire. Like, she had a fire ass suit with a dope ass jacket.
Dope.
She was more healed this last Wednesday. Like, what is going on? It's just, anyway, but no, that fit was fire though. I had to, she needed a call.
That shit was fire.
Yeah.
Next up, this is one I'm looking forward to the most: TNT Championship barbed wire steel cage match. Adam Copeland versus Malakai Black. This is. I want to know. I want to know where this goes. After this past Dynamite with the whole, like, blood in the ring thing, like that, love that shit. That shit was fucking great. It was dope to see, not because of the blood element, although that did help, but just to see a heel, like, on their back feet. Like, well, what the fuck is he on? Like, we supposed to be doing the tormenting here. What the fuck is this? Also, with the stipulation that came out today, that was, if he joins, or if Copeland loses, he joins House of Black. If Black loses, Copeland takes Brody and Buddy, and he's in House of Black. So it seems like either way, somebody's either joining or somebody's getting kicked out of the group.
Yeah.
And and I think we talked about a couple episodes back where you were like, this is him getting what he wanted out of Judgment Day. Like, he's getting the spooky shit. Like, that's what he wanted to do.
He wants to be a spooky nigga so bad. So, it's like, bro, it's fine. You don't need powers, bro. You're fine.
But I'm biased. I'm always going to say Malakai Black, but I don't, not for the reason that you would think. I think that, like, Cope would do this in a way of, like, I'm already solidified. Let's put the belt on you and let's give you these singles matches. Because I don't know what you do with Cope after if he wins this. Like, what more could you put him over in? I think for Malakai, this does a lot more for him than it does for Adam Copeland.
Yeah.
Unless, there's an exit strategy happen for Malakai Black and he's, thinking about going somewhere else or going back to the E or whatnot. I don't fucking know.
That's one of the things that popped in my mind when during Edge's promo or at Copeland's recent promo when he said, if I win, the other two follow me because they know I have a devil in my heart. So that did pop in my mind. Based on what's Black's contract status. I'm gonna choose Copeland because Malakai rarely wins singles matches. He rarely has singles matches. But Cope, man, I'm choosing Cope to win. I don't see him losing the title this soon. And your question is, like, what could he still do? Like, he could still turn slowly more and more evil with his spooky stuff, especially if he has 2 goons with him. On the other hand, if he did lose and join the House of Black, I don't imagine him just being another soldier. I imagine he would probably do what Judgment Day did to him and eventually kick out Black anyway. but I don't see him. I don't know. This is a coin flip, but I'm gonna choose Copeland. I don't. You do make a good point because I feel like he does want to put over obviously younger talent. Like he talks about it all the fucking time.
Yeah,
I think this is a coin flip too, but I'm gonna choose Copeland.
I think that like putting Malakai Black over in the singles match, it kind of, at least how I think about it, kickstarts like, you know, the singles run. You got to start somewhere before you can get the AEW World Championship. But I think if you have him win here, we can start building this resume of, okay, Malakai Black's coming for the head guy. Because I think that, like, hypothetically, after Ospreay, or maybe even, like, you know, Ospreay's first defense, Malakai Black versus Will Ospreay sells shit out. I think that's a great fucking match to have. Or maybe whoever dethrones Swerve between either fucking Will or Malakai. Like, I think that can happen as well. But yeah, hopefully it's a good match. Especially with all the stipulations, you know, ties to this. I just want a good fucking match. And whoever wins, like, it's gonna create stories. We're gonna have something to talk about, you know, in the following weeks. Yeah. TBS Championship. Willow Nightingale versus Mercedes Moné, the debut of the CEO. We talked about it a couple times before. I'm going Willow. I would love to see Willow get this win over Mercedes. It would be a huge fucking win for Willow, especially because like the one that happened in New Japan was just off of like technicality because of the injury. Yeah, what do you got?
Oh man, I want Willow to win only just because I want to see Mercedes stands just go berserk. I think it would be hilarious, similar to what happened with Nicki Minaj today on Twitter. Absolutely hilarious. But oh man, fuck. I feel like this has been made for Mercedes to win. I would be. Okay, yeah, for the sake of radio, I'm gonna choose Mercedes, but I want the audience to know I really want Willow to win for the chaos. But I'll be extremely surprised if Mercedes loses because it seemed like. But then again, maybe that's hopefully a swerve, but TK doesn't do a lot of crazy swerves like that. It seems like
we got to figure out who attacked her though. We got to know who was the one that did the attacking. We still ain't got no conclusion to that.
Yeah, Mercedes wins, and then you find out who it was, and who it was Statlander.
Shit. I think the biggest question of this is that can she still go? We're gonna see and be able to see like if she can still run. I have no doubt that she can because I believe in Mercedes. But I think this is going to put a lot of people on notice and like, you know, hey, I can still get out there and fucking, you know, wrestle my ass off. Because that's what she can do. She can wrestle her fucking ass off.
It's her best attribute. And after all the shit she was saying in some interviews recently, she better fucking show out. So you claim to be the best women's wrestler on the entire planet. I beg to differ. And I used to be a huge stan. Now I kind of died off, but I still beg to differ. So yeah, you need to show us.
Is there a way that you can return to the standum? Is there anything that she could do that be like, damn, I'm back in?
I'll still be a fan, but she's not in my top 5 anymore. I mean, to me, she's not the best. She's not the best horsewoman. I don't think she's the best woman there as of right now, but who knows? I don't know. Maybe she is.
Okay. AEW World Championship. Swerve Strickland versus Christian Cage. Go ahead. What you got? I'll let you go first.
Swerve needs to win this. He should win this. If he doesn't win this, I'm going to have a lot to say. Because I already feel like I have a lot to say. To me, since he's won, he doesn't feel important, and he needs to win this match. And they need to start making this motherfucker feel important, because out of all the storylines here, Moxley's title feels more important. The Willow Mercedes stuff, that's a better angle. Fucking the Anarchy, all that shit. He needs to feel important. And Christian Cage, he is a good foil. But at the same time, man, like we talked about, they love heels, and Christian having this title during this with this current iteration of his character wouldn't be a bad thing. It would be a bad thing only because Swerve literally just won this, and they did make they made a big deal about being the first Black champion, and I feel like they fumbled the celebration, they fumbled the presentation ever since he's won. So he needs to win this match. I think he's going to win this match. I mean, he's going to have to block me again if he doesn't. I'll say that.
Fucking shit, that's funny. Blocking you twice when you already blocked is fucking hilarious. I'm gonna go Swerve as well. If Swerve loses, I don't think my wrestling fandom can take it. I can't take Swerve losing and Kofi losing in the same lifetime. That's just on some wild disrespectful shit. I can't do that. I will say this last week on Dynamite, he actually had a great showing. There was a little segment between him and the Bucks to where like they're kind of afraid of him. They're like, "Oh shit, champ. Hey, whatever you want, go ahead, do it." To where in the sense of like, we don't like you, but we respect that you're the champ, and we don't want no smoke with you. He had a great match with Nick Wayne, and not even like on a Nick Wayne's keeping up with them. This is the match that should have happened with Kyle Fletcher. And when I watched it, I was like, this is the one that like he's showing that he's a champ. You can't step with me. I'm the top guy for a reason. This was very much so that match. So he's definitely building up his championship like caliber, championship swagger, the whole nine. And I think based on how that match went, how the promo afterwards went with the whole like Christian trying to escape in the car thing, Swerve or Nana cutting him off, and Swerve's like trying to bash his man's head in on the top of the fucking hood of a car. They're definitely pushing and trying to build Swerve's legacy right now. And I think the best case scenario is for him to win this, especially after all the investment that we've had, this past couple of weeks.
Yeah, the car angle, I didn't like the ending of it, but I appreciate that Swerve finally got the upper hand, because he's been getting embarrassed literally like the last 3 weeks. So I'm glad he got the upper hand, but to beat up somebody and then set up the concerto and then that person just runs away. So either you didn't beat him up hard enough or something, because there's no reason he should have escaped on his own accord. Like Kill Switch or somebody should have saved him. You set up the concerto and all of a sudden he just zooms out. I don't know. To me, that's weird. Like someone,
he did shake off.
He just shook off. It was like I just like beat you up and laid you down, and you just I don't know. But no, Swerve needs to win this.
Absolutely. Last match of the night, or part 3 of the triple main event, is the Anarchy in the Arena match. The new Elite, or the Elite, Young Bucks, Okada, and Jack Perry versus Team AEW, Bryan Danielson, FTR, and Darby with the flamethrower Allen. Honestly, no clue. I have no idea who can win this, because there's very much so stories that can be said on both. However, I think the story needs to continue with the EVPs. So for that sense, I'm going with the Elite getting this win in our Anarchy in the Arena. It's going to be Jack's first time back in action. I think this is Okada's second match. I think his first match was at Dynasty, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe first like pay-per-view match.
He's had other matches.
I had to go back and check.
Like
not first match, but like for this second. I don't know how many pay-per-view matches Okada has had right now, but I'm pretty sure it's still early. I think it's like under 4 for sure.
No, this might be his third or second, I think.
Yeah, so they're still building that as well. I think it's gonna be a very entertaining match. Hopefully nobody gets set on fire. I hope the flamethrower is just a prop that we were just showing on Dynamite. Like, hey, I got it. I don't need nobody lit up. the whole let's light up the table thing. Let's not do that. Let's not do that.
No, go ahead and do it. Let Darby do all the things he want to do.
And that's the thing. If they light that bitch up, you know exactly who's going through it.
But they're going to use a real glass spot, and Jack Perry or whoever is going to be like a real glass. I'm not a betting man, but I bet that's probably going to happen. I'm also going to go with the Elite because again, it makes more sense. Similar to my Trent Beretta argument, it makes sense for the Elite to win this one because I don't know, Darby Allin has a broken foot and was hit by a bus 3 weeks ago. FTR rarely beats the Young Bucks, and then Daniel Bryan, he's what can you say about him that hasn't been said about Afghanistan? He looks bombed up and depleted. That's a Dave Chappelle joke. It's an old take. But no, seriously though, the Elite, it makes more sense for them to win, and they still have some cards up their sleeve. Like we don't know when Adam Page is going to come back, and he's more than likely going to probably join them. There's always, again, I mean, whether it could be Sammy Guevara or he could join back up with Chris Jericho, or Sammy could do something else. But the good guys are hobbled. So if the good guys win, it honestly will make the Elite look even more like dorks, because you got a dude who has a broken foot and was hit by a bus, and then Danielson, who's literally duct taped together. He gets injured every fucking week and a half. And
they have been getting beat up this week. Like FTR has been getting hit up. Daniel just had the match with Sansom Singh, which was a good match. I enjoyed that shit. But it ended in like them coming out and or Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal coming out and just attacking Daniel. So like, it was chair shots and, them just beating him up. So they're already leaning on the angle that like team AEW is like already banged up. So I feel strongly about the Elite getting the win here.
Yeah. They should.
For the sake of story.
They should. Otherwise, you're going to look like some fucking dorks, man.
Yes. That was our Double or Nothing predictions, everybody. Hopefully you're checking this out. It's going to be a good one. I'm definitely interested in seeing how this goes. And we'll talk to you guys not in the next episode, but the episode after about the results and how we felt about Double or Nothing. And we'll go from there. Until next time, we will catch you guys later. It's been real. This is the Monday Night Wave. I'll see you later.
Too sweet.